Good afternoon and welcome to another version of the Fedorable Chef. Today we're going to be cooking a mini pizza, probably enough for 4 slices, certainly enough for 2 people. If you're a big eater, of course, you could probably devour a mini pizza yourself. What we're looking at is we've already bought the store ready dough. We like to get a pizza dough, and everybody says, you know, the New York City pizzas are the best. It's the pH in the water. So there's a store here, I'm not going to promote them, but you can buy the pizza dough, and they use the New York water. So look for that. It'll give you a little extra bubble in the crust, give you a nice taste. So what we've done is we've taken the time to preheat our oven. I've browned some sweet Italian sausages. We're going to use Seminola flour. We put a generous portion on the cutting board. I also put a little bit of the cornmeal in, right? So you're going to want to put a little on the bottom. Have you ever picked up a pizza out and you pick it up and it folds right down, all the toppings slide off? They didn't use the right stuff. Again, Seminola flour and a little bit of cornmeal. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our pizza sauce and use any store brand that you like. I like to put a generous portion of sauce. When you get a pizza and there's not a lot of sauce on it, you know, you're getting a lot of dough. You might as well just eat Italian bread, right? So we'll put that on, spread it around with a spoon, and I think we've got it pretty well covered, maybe a little more because I like it. And spread it. Okay. So got that. Now I'm going to give you a secret ingredient that I like to put on my pizza, any pizza, the regular size, Marcello wine. So with a small pizza, you don't need a lot. I'm just going to dribble some in here, if you can see that. Dribbling it in there, give it a little flavor. It's enough. Oh yeah. So you can enjoy that. So what you end up with so far is this, right? We got our sauce, our dough already spread out, our Seminola flour, some cornmeal. Now we're going to take scamotes. We're going to take some mozzarella, right? We're going to put it on here. And I like a lot of cheese, but you may not. So it's always better when you have fresh mozzarella sliced up. Put some on here. Sure we don't leave that little piece out there. And we've got our cheese. Now what I did is I had some leftover from a salad, some onion. I don't like to take away from the sausage too much when I do this. So I'm going to just put a little chopped up red onion on here, right? And we'll put that back over here. So we've got that. Now folks, taking the time to brown up some sausage, sweet sausage earlier. It's been resting. Put it on the pizza. So you don't have to worry about did it get cooked in the oven long enough with the pizza, because we're going to leave this in at about 4 1/4 to crust it up, and then we're going to be good for about 10 minutes here. So we'll put our sausage on. I like to have a lot of sausage, so we'll put it all through the pie, right? And what we end up with is this, folks. I've got some sausage, I've got some cheese. I'm gonna cheat a little bit, we'll put a little more cheese over the sausage. Got some Marcello wine. Not a very difficult. I got my oven preheated to 4 1/4. I've taken and put some cornmeal, Samoa and stuff over my just make sure that the edges, I like to have the edges crispy. And we're going to open up our oven. We'll slide that in. It's going to be nice. Again, I've got it on 4 1/4. Now I have a pizza stone in here, and I'll show you when I take it out. But he puts the temperature at 4 1/4 so that we get this crispy. And you can see I didn't put enough of the flour on here. So let's put it in here, set it on. There we go. And we're going to cook her at 4 1/4. Like I said, 10-12 minutes. We'll see how it goes. While we're waiting for the pizza, I'm going to do a little treat here for you today. You got to have something to drink. Now, red wine, Chiantis, Merlots, any of that's good. But today we're going to do a little something special. We're going to make a smoked bourbon. Now, I'm going to use one of my favorite. This is Blanton's. Well, you can use any bourbon. We'll take that off, pour a little in. Now what I've done is I've taken some wood chips, some cherry wood chips, into my little device here. You can see the cherry wood chips right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to heat them up. Then we'll let the smoke, you can see the smoke. So we'll let that smoke a little bit. And while we're waiting for the pizza and the bourbon to smoke, I'm going to try to tell you a story. A little joke I heard years ago. It's about a doctor and his wife out of San Diego. They went down to Mexico City to see the bullfights. First time. They enjoyed it. A little hungry before they drove back to San Diego. They said, let's get something to eat. There was a restaurant across from the arena. So they went over there. The waiter comes over and says, sir, can I help you take your order? Gives him a menu. He says, excuse me, what is this on the menu? El Cuyuna de Bull. He goes, oh, those are the bull's testicle. I think in the States you call them Rocky Mountain oysters, but El Cuyuna de Bull, yeah, that's the bull's testicles. He goes, you eat them down here? Says, yeah, we eat them. They're a delicacy. They're on the menu all the time. So I recommend them. So if you recommend them, I'll try them once. I'll try anything once. My wife orders a taco salad, right? So 5 minutes go by, 10 minutes go by, 20 minutes go by, he brings the plate out. There's two on the plate the size of baseballs. So, oh my God, he's eating away. She's done with her salad in 15 minutes. Hour later, he finishes up. He says, oh my God, they were so good. You're right. They are a delicacy. I've never had them before. They're good. Week goes by, it's Sunday again. They want to go see the bullfights because they're starting to get into it. So I go to Mexico City, nice drive. And they are hungry again. So they said, let's go to a restaurant across. So they go across the street to the restaurant. The waiter comes over, recognizes him. Hey, how are you? So I waited on you last week. He goes, yeah. He says, you still have the El Cuyuna de Bull? He goes, oh yeah, that's it. it's on the menu constantly. We don't take that off. He says, "Oh, I'm going to have that. That was so good last week." Wife orders her meal. Well, waiter disappears. 5 minutes go by, and he comes back out. And on his plate are two the size of marbles. He goes, whoa, 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 wait a minute. He said, last week it was 20 minutes. They come out, they were the size of baseballs. Marbles? What's going on here? He goes, well, sir, you know, sometimes the matador loses too. Somebody will be telling that joke this week. All right, let's take a look at our smoked bourbon. Still see the smoke in there. That's good stuff right there. So you can get these smokers at different variety shops, gift shops, but it's a real treat. And I like it neat, but you can make smoked old fashions. You know, you can do a lot of things with them. So let's check on our pizza. While we're doing that, we'll try the sausage. Folks, the next video, I'm going to do a longer video, but it's going to be a treat for you. I'm going to do a take on a different version of baked ziti. Now, my grandparents, my mother, they always did the baked ziti, cheese over the top, nice sauce, bake it, excellent, right? And then, you know, weddings, you know, birthday parties, we always have baked ziti. I'm going to kick it up a little bit for you. We're going to do baked ziti. We're going to use ziti, and we're going to do it with cauliflower. That's the twist. You're going to get a nice healthy portion of cauliflower. We're going to have garlic in it. We're going to have Italian breadcrumbs. We're going to have saffron. Now, if you ever price this stuff, you know this is a little expensive. But the saffron is going to give it a little bit of flavor, but mainly for color. And then we're going to put in some pine nuts. And the pine nuts, went to the deli, a little tub of the pine nuts, $10. They're not cheap, but you got to have them for this recipe because they're good. The saffron, about $5. Ziti's cheap, the Italian breadcrumbs. And of course, we'll be cutting up we're going to be slicing very fine 6 cloves of fresh garlic. We're not going to use the bottle or the minced. We're going to cook it up. So let's check on the pizza. That'll be coming up on the next video. I'm going to do my first giveaway. It'll be a surprise what we give away. I don't know if it'll be in an apron or something else, but we're going to give something away. Here's a trivia question. What college athlete came out of college and was drafted by 3 major league sports? I'm going to give you the sports. Baseball, football, and basketball. I'm going to give you a hint, like calling a friend. He chose baseball. So they'll kind of narrow it down. For these 3 sports, it was the only athlete ever to be drafted by these 3 sports, and he chose baseball. Probably because of the money at the time. So make sure you like and subscribe to get the prize. Might be a watch, might be an apron. Who knows? It might even be a fedora. You got to be liked. You got to be subscribed, and we'll send that out to the first one that puts the right answer. Sends back a message with the right answer was, again, baseball, football, and basketball. Only athlete to be drafted. So we're going to have another hit of our smoked bourbon. I'm going to check on our pizza. It's looking good. Oh yeah. Folks, this is what we're looking at right here, right? So crust is getting there, not quite done. I'm gonna give her a few more minutes. Make sure you don't burn yourself. So we'll give her a few more minutes. Hit my granddaughters. Did a sleepover last night, and we did blueberry waffles. Got some buddies coming over. If you haven't checked out the video on the porchetti, the Italian tube macaroni with stuffed ricotta, make sure you see that, because I got buddies that are in line that wait for me to cook that, and I gotta cook them a little tray of 6 of them in there, and probably mass produce those, maybe 5, 8 trays. But this pizza, this twist, you're gonna enjoy it. Again, the ziti with the pine nuts. I'm gonna check in these pine nuts. So it's just a little container. You can see them. $10, you know how everything costs, but you gotta get the fresh ingredients. I like it, so we'll be cooking those with the ziti and the cauliflower. Now many of you probably haven't had ziti with cauliflower before. You're used to the ziti, but we'll use, you don't use mozzarella on it. A lot of times the baked ziti to put you know, mozzarella. We're going to use Parmigiano Romano, and we'll do generous portions of that. There'll be a little bit of twist in there that you'll see, you know, kind of like with our pizza, we sprinkled it with Marsala wine. That's one of the keys of making a good pizza. If you put in your sauce a little Marsala wine, if there's any acid in the sauce, it'll cut it. And if there isn't, it won't make it too sweet, like sugar, but it'll give it a different flavor, definitely a different flavor. So let's check the pizza. I think we're probably going to be about ready now. And yeah, it's been a while, so we're doing good. So here's our pizza. You gotta have a pizza cutter, right? You can. You got one. I happen to have my knife and the pizza cutter. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut her right down the middle. And then I'll make little pieces. See how that looks. It's hot, folks, very hot. And you can see, got a couple sausages, cheese, plenty of the sauce. Dough's nice and crispy. You pick that up, it's not wilting, it's not going like this, right? And again, the semolina and a little bit of the cornmeal gives it that firmness. It's no Domino's or other pizza, but we didn't want it to be like that, right, folks? This is again, you can taste the Marsala wine. Dough's nice and crispy. Sauce, a little bit of the onion. I didn't put a lot. Remember, a little chopped up red onion, and we're good to go. Thank you for joining us. Again, the next video, folks, baked ziti with cauliflower. You're going to enjoy it. Saffron, pine nuts, garlic. We got a couple of things that We might add the traditional recipe. You could put anchovies in. I'm not going to put anchovies in this one, but you could, but it'll be a little bit longer. But again, like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the story about the doctor and his wife at the bullfights. I'm gonna eat some pizza and enjoy my smoked bourbon. Arrivederci, be good, be kind to your parents, always. Fedorable Chef, take care.